And we're live.
Wait, John, we're gonna be. Wait, John, we're gonna be here. Josh, you need to find someone. You need someone who text his phone supporter. He's gonna text me why it's up.
No, I really need a partner over there so because my phone is just back to the that was. And if I like something like that, I will so like my camera on there is less I need to be able to be notified that I I'll find someone. What do you need? I just need someone to stand over there with me so Riley can text me. Are you done? So I need to like get my camera ready, make sure everything's all set. Okay. Cool. Is there a password on it? There is. Yes. Right. It looks like we're losing help. Like some of the help with nerves. Oh yeah. Yeah. It kept running out of memory. So, sure. Yeah. Well, we just turned it on like a using later. And just go stop and switch out and but now I know how to do that. Or like some very small parts. Well, I know how to use the part of it. Which is running out of memory. Sure. I can't tell if you understand that. I think I said in the track. White hot baby. No. I guess that's one I need to see now. My mistake. I forget sometimes. Over there. Rainbow? Yeah. It's the shitty ass thing with brackets. What? Yeah, you have plus, minus, anchor player, vector player, jump, and I'm going to do the thing you said.
Yeah. What? Wait, that's mine.
Oh, yeah. Or it's just very deep. No phone? Same with phone.
This is the.
How'd your demo go? Judges? Good? You guys ready for this? Who's doing it? You? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, we had it in place.
Oh.
Sorry, no, we were like moving around chairs and everything to make sure like
Yeah. You're gonna have to videotape it?
yeah, just live streaming.
Oh, okay, cool. Very nice. Oh, Google Hangouts, okay. Nice.
Listening to us. Huh? It's listening to us. Yeah. Don't tell your secrets right there.
Oh gosh, the hot secret.
Everyone will know.
I know.
I only use the maximum control, and I have no idea what's
Ready?
Dude,
Alright.
don't, just don't.
Did anyone already do a final sweep?
Alright, everybody, how's it going? Should have a good hack! Should have a good hack!
Hi, Steve.
Cool. So, I have no words for all of you for all the
crazy, crazy cool things that you build. It really just blows my mind, all of it. I have no words. But right now, we're going to give you a chance to see as determined by our wonderful sponsor judges up front here, the top 16. Yeah. The top 16 projects that we have here today. Rules for the demo, we're going to give each of the demos about 5 minutes to run through. For those of you presenting demos, I'm going to be standing back there keeping time. When you guys have like 1 minute left, I'm going to give you a short wave until I get your attention. Then, if need be, we'll cut you off. But hopefully that won't happen. Just doing something cool. We want you to have a chance to show it off. But we're going to just start right off with notification. Dan Pyatt, want to take it up? Sure.
Woo!
Yeah, and if the people from Echo Drop want to go see Ryan so they can test the AV stuff, that'd be great. That way we can just really just quickly cycle through everything. Bonus to vibrate. Yeah. No ringers on these. These are being recorded, and we're really, really sad for people presenting like long-sized call. Let's do the hackathon.
Zoom out.
Right.
Hello, everybody. My name's Daniel Pyatt. I'm part of Team Telepanther with Pasha Sadakov and Tiffany Kita-Brata Nasampan. We did what's called poetification, which is a let me just bring it up over here. It is a web interface that takes your Facebook and Twitter posts and turns it into a poem. We have many different poem formats hard-coded into the system, and there's also a couple fall-throughs that we use to catch, people who post just stuff that's not very poetic and still want to make it into a poem. On the back end, we used Python and Django to run everything. We used NLTK to do a lot of the rhyme processing and syllable processing. NLTK had a couple of shortcomings, though, that we found with words that don't exist in the dictionary. So we had to hit an external API called RhymeBrain for syllable counts on words that are just sort of nonsensical. On the front end, it's just Twitter Bootstrap, pretty simple stuff. A little bit of JS to make things look nice, and that's really about it. Twython we use to do the OAuth dances because that stuff can be kind of complicated at times. And I'd like to say that the Facebook OAuth dance that I made is hacky as it could be. I mean, the code is just wonderful hacky. I'll do a little demo here. Pretty much you go to the site just like this. Hopefully we'll get a domain up at some point and put it on, Y Combinator or something. I'm going to go off the Facebook. So right now in the background, well, terminal, you can see it's actually hitting and pulling all my Facebook posts, gathering the syllables, gathering the rhymes, putting it all together. Then there's a little bit of high-end mathematics that happens that we had to call in some PhDs to do. Outsource that. And if all goes well, once this loads, we'll get some poems. So these are some poems based off my Facebook posts. The first one's a haiku. This is a fun test. HackBeanpot is awesome. First day of co-op. The second one is a Dodoitsu, which is 7775, another sort of rhythm format poem. HackBeanpot is awesome. Chicago Bound, 26 to the 1st, see you there. Just hung out with Saul Williams, who actually is a poet, by the way. So this is a fun test. The final one is a sonnet that I actually kind of enjoyed. I didn't think that I would get a sonnet out of my Facebook post because I don't post that much, but I did. The rhyming is a little funny because when you do things like this or like this. They kind of rhyme in an odd way, but we'll see how this goes. Feta and spinach stuffed salmon with balsamic vinegar risotto. Homemade. Food Network ain't got on me. New job. Installing Debian on Trash Comp and watching the Mikado. Saturday done. WE. Anyone know UX design and need a job? As you can see, job and job kind of rhyme there. Hochito, hey ya, hey ya. That's a line from one of my favorite Wagner songs. Up too early bored. BigAssMessages.com/30D9A. Kind of rhymes with hey ya. To anyone making music out there, hurry up, I'm bored. I think that caught the bored rhyme there. Blurg, 15 hours of sleep. Last week of school, much work to be done. Blarg, no sleep. Those two posts actually were 18 months apart, so I just do a lot of blarging and weird sleep schedules, which I'm sure you guys are all accustomed to for the past 3 days. And then, shit son, one final done. Also another done rhyme there. Blah, 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 last final, blah, blah, blah. What the fuck done? And that would be the end of the sonnet. If somebody wants to come up, a volunteer. Yeah, let's do one Twitter, and then that'll be the end of the presentation. So we'll go back. We'll have an incognito. You want to hold this for a second?
Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm DJ.
Hi,
I'd like to read some of my poetry.
So he's going to go ahead and authorize us to steal all of his information and sell it to the black market.
Woo!
Privacy is good.
Because
Well then.
Is that applause for hashing your passwords?
Yes.
That's right.
In the meantime, I'd like to give a big shout out to all the sponsors. They are wonderful for helping us host the event. Everyone, give a nice little round of applause for that. And also the boys and girls in purple. Also, they just really amazing. There's a lot of work to run these kind of things to make it really go off without a hitch. And I just want to give my honest thanks to you guys. Good job. All right, so what's happening right now is we're going to plug back in. He did the OAuth dance. It will not redirect because we kind of punted on having a loading screen. We decided that wasn't top priority.
Trio.
Yeah, it's right now doing the math. So as you can see, here is the math as tweets. You can kind of read along. The number on the right is the syllable count. And what you see on the left is actually the rhyme, kind of like.
Oh, wait, you guys included
T.
RTs, so
Mm-hmm.
be aware of that.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sorry, no poems were created. I guess you're not very poetic.
No poems were created.
Oh, yeah, sorry. No poems were created. Yeah, right. All right, and that is notification. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. All right. Up next, we have Team Frosh with Echo Drop. And United Untitled Mixtapes. Go see Ryan, please, and set that up.
Hi, I guess we're hashtag Team Frosh. I'm Allison and this is Matt, and Chris is over there on the computer logging in. And we made Echo Drop. Echo Drop is an application where users can record sound and then drop it on their location so other people can visit that location and listen to the sound. So we have a demo. Matt has it here.
So what we did is we have a really simple user interface. So if you can see it, it's literally 2 circles. And what you do is you tap to start recording. And we require that there be at least 20 seconds of recording because people have to go find this. So if they go find it, it shouldn't just be someone saying, duh, and then stop. So what we do to check that is you tap stop to stop, and if it does, you rewind. But then you tap and let it talk and go through the whole time, and it should be recording me and anyone else who may make noise. Exactly.
First post.
Exactly. So then you go through, and it's got this nice little loading thing. So that you know that you've got to 20 seconds. When you finally get to 20 seconds, you tap it again, it drops onto the ground, not literally. just off the screen. And then you get to this nice play button, which is once again 2 circles. Here you tap. And so you can listen to what was played, and you can listen to it for as many times as you want. It doesn't matter. When you tap again, that's when you stop listening to it and sort of give up on hearing that again forever. But we don't want it to disappear. So this is really the first version of the design. So it's got some minimal things, but we have some extra things we are going to add. So for example, you have to record for at least 20 seconds, but you can record for more. So what we've got is, in the design, is we actually have a system where basically the person's recording audio. So the audio will be playing, basically has a volume, and it basically tracks their volume and gives a little like feedback so that you can see like that you are recording. So you get this nice little smooth feedback. We haven't put that in the app yet, but we have the design all figured out for it. Another thing is, since you need to actually like find things to listen to, we have a way to actually like find those things. So what we have also in the design is a compass. And basically this compass is just a little bar that goes around on the outside where the black bar is here. And basically it stretches for however close the thing is to you and points in the direction. So you've still got these nice little circles pointing in the direction, and when it finally fills up, that's when you're over a point and it will turn blue. So those are some of the like little features that we have in the making.
Cool, and so as many of you have heard, we are a team of 9 freshmen, and this is a large application, but we all worked in smaller sub-teams. We had a team doing backend in the Google App Engine, writing Python, and then we had a team working on the Android part in Java, and then Chris and Amelia were doing Quartz Composer to get all these fun graphics up. We also have a website at echodropapp.com, top there, and we have a beta sign up, which is just enter your email and we will inform you. And the Twitter, we have a Twitter. You should go follow us. And
What is your Twitter?
Twitter is EchoDrop App. EchoDrop App. Not EchoDrop, that one was taken. EchoDrop App. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Awesome. Next up, we have. Okay, so we are going to skip Untitled Mixtape and move right on to BitCoffee. BitCoffee, do you have VGA or Mac on the bowl? Awesome. Cool. I'm just going to hand this off to you.
Like when you go and you do an echo drop, is it a quick sale on that? Should probably do within whatever. Oh yeah.
Where does it fit?
Yeah. So a drop is probably like still doing like that.
Zach, zoom out to 50% to have it show exactly how you Yeah. Uh-huh. In the browser. Yeah. Where are you trying to go? Yeah, so go here.
Sorry.
All right, guys. So we hacked the Beanpot, as I think DJ said earlier on Twitter. So we built a cure that accepts Bitcoin. So basically, you pay Bitcoin, and then it moves up. So we started off by just totally ripping this thing apart. Show pictures for a moment. So these things are one of the hardest things you'll ever pull apart, probably in your life. So I would recommend not breaking it. But we managed to pull it off somehow, and we didn't destroy it too bad. So I can show you some pictures of it. And so we tore it apart, found out how it worked. It's fairly complex actually for a coffee machine. It has a transformer, obviously from AC to DC, a power circuit to control the 5-volt, input for the processor, and a control panel, your input output up here. So yeah, so that's the power circuit. It's how these rig. That's me. Okay. Input output, and then yeah, it's how it's rig. So then so we have an Arduino in the back here, and it has a Wi-Fi shield on it. And the way it works is Zach, or really anybody, can go onto the web app and buy a coffee using Bitcoin. And then that will send a signal to your Arduino, which tells the coffee machine to make coffee. So we'll try to show you that, so it's done with that. Does anyone have Bitcoin that they can pay with on their phone? No?
Oh.
All right, we'll do the browser. Sorry, thanks. You want to do it? Good. Good. Something. Alright, so it's like the interface here. You press play with Bitcoin.
And let it connect first to the Wi-Fi. Doesn't matter quite. The other side. So the Wi-Fi shield is a little finicky, and yeah. Okay, so it's connected, it seems. So you put the cup in, and you get a green light telling you the cup is placed. Ready?
Well, it's probably in this front now. It's just a CNC one. Yeah, we just lose it. Alright, here we go.
Did you bear it?
Almost.
Don't do it yet.
So what?
Don't do it yet.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's not gonna work. It has to connect to the Wi-Fi.
Oh my god, I said you wanted.
That's the whole plan, right?
Ouch.
No, I lost 3 cents.
That phone is connected to the CIC.
Yeah, so the same typical use. But it will connect.
So that's not good. Let's build coffee. Don't make coffee. That's. It might not matter. It doesn't work here again. But anyways,
Besides this, we actually put together this page, of course, and then we posted on Reddit a little while ago. So we've got a bunch of people who comment.
Thank you for your purchase. I think it went through.
So yeah, I mean, basically went through and tested it, and we're running through those on
Ellie gets caught up.
What's the coffee?
Awesome.
We use our
All right, is Untitled Mixtape. You guys ready? All right. Yeah. Next, which is Daily Planet, can go see Ryan to figure out thick stuffs. I'm gonna give this a Zach.
Okay, so hi, I'm Jack. This is Nat's computer, and Sanders coming over here. We created Untitled Mixtapes, which is a mixtape editor. So the idea behind that is there are a lot of services like Pandora or like Spotify recommendations that make you playlists just based on recommended artists. But what there isn't is something that creates what's defined as like a mixtape, which would be like a limited number of tracks with a set beginning and end, with some kind of sense of progress through the playlist, basically. So our goal with this was to try to figure out some kind of algorithm, given a track, so an artist and a title, and a couple of settings to actually create the mixtape and then do it with Spotify. I like zoom out. Yeah. So it's made in Python. We use Flask in the back end, and now I'll play it later. And the front end is we use Bootstrap for the design. Does anyone have a suggestion for a track we could use, like not an obscure one, ideally?
Dirt off your shoulder, Jay-Z. Do it.
Jay-Z what?
Dirt off your shoulder.
Solid. Hopefully we spell it right. Dirt off your shoulder.
Or 99 problems, whatever.
If we give the wrong song, it'll tell us, which is feature. So diversity, basically. So there's for an artist. Okay. Let's see the mixtape first. Then. Yeah. All right. So you're not gonna have problems.
It's J. Yeah, I think you accidentally subtracted Z.
It found the artist though. It did find the artist. So, but okay.
Yes.
Okay. Any other suggestions?
99 problems.
Do it.
Wrecking ball, yeah.
Alright, anyway, so diversity. Just don't outrun it yet. Diversity. So for each artist, there are genres kind of like related to the artist. So when you make the mixtape, we query Last.fm for related artists. We use their API. And so those artists are basically similar genres. What we do, if you turn diversity on, in this case just like a 0-1 slider, 0-1 scale, it'll take an artist from those related artists and pick new related artists. So it expands into other genres that you otherwise might not have heard. So it makes a more diverse playlist and it can expose you to new music. Try it now. Cool. Okay, so some characteristics about this. The first song and the last song, slow down. They're both Miley Cyrus songs. So we do this because we want the first song to be something that takes the user in, and we want the ending song to be something memorable. So So what we do is we take, that's memorable. We take the initial track and we query the Echo Nest API, which is this really awesome API. We can find out all different kinds of information on songs and different artists. And we get some data from the song, for example, the energy of the song, which is kind of self-explanatory. And we, from related artists, we query songs from those artists and create a list of songs with very similar energies, so the mood stays the same. And throughout the playlist, the beat per minute of the different tracks alternate, and the songs slowly grow more diverse. Now, so thanks. Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So a good mixtape, we think like the best way to describe a good mixtape versus just like sort of a playlist or something with like Pandora, is that mixtape sort of tells a story and also maybe broadens your musical horizons. So throughout a mixtape, you want like a strong intro, and then you want to feel like you're being taken on like a musical journey, almost, if that doesn't sound too pretentious. Yeah, okay, solid. Anything else?
Is this
No, not yet. We're gonna put it on GitHub, so anyone can check it out after this. Yeah, we're gonna work on that. We're running into API limitations at the moment, but probably work on it in the future.
Awesome. Thank you. Up next, we have you guys. After that, I have like too many phones telling me too many things. After that, can Inventor go see Ryan over there to get set up? Inventor.
Wait, oh, do it now?
What?
Do that now?
Yeah, go see Ryan.
Oh,
to
okay, you said do it after that.
No.
You're going after. Yeah, I did it now.
Yeah, get the other plan out there.
Alright, good afternoon everyone. I'm Nilesh, and that's Avery, and today we're going to reinvent the newspaper. So, your average newspaper that you see nowadays, you're pretty much restricted to what you see on them. Like you pick up the Boston Globe, you only going to get news from Boston and the US, you pick up some of the Hungary Times, you're going to only get the news from Hungary. But have you ever thought of something that, what if you wanted to go around the globe and see what's going on around the entire universe? And if you want to do that, there's a lot of searching. You need to go to one website, that's going to redirect you to another website, and it's going to be in another language, blah, blah, blah. So what if I told you that if you wanted to see what's happening in some other part of the world, all you have to do is just fly across the globe using Google Maps, and it's automatically going to render the latest news of what's happening. Like if you want, and whatever you like, you know, if you're interested in politics, if you need some technology or sports or finance, anything you want, all you need to do is just scroll the country. What we're going to do, we're going to detect what all countries are being shown around the globe, and it's going to show all the news that's relevant to that. So, all right, let's start with this. So, as soon as we refresh, the first thing we'll do is get a location, and it's going to load it up as to where we are. Because generally, you want to see what's happening around you, right? So, we're in the United States, of course. So we get all the latest news, like that's what's interesting. Games and all the sort of top news, right? Oh, let's get some sports if you feel like. And it'll automatically, it's going to choose the sports news for you. If you want to see other news as well. Like if you want to see technology, finance, and sports news mixed, we can have those at the same time. All right, so let's get out of here. Let's zoom out, and let's go to Canada. And it's going to show you some news of Canada. All you have to do is just go around to Canada, and it's automatically showing you the same genre of news in technology, sports, and world in Canada. Okay, now let's try to go somewhere more exotic. Let's try Central African Republic. You can even type in the name if you don't feel like messing around with the maps. Okay, there's not really anything happening in technology with Central African Republic, so I don't think you'll see anything. So, all right, let's zoom out a bit. And it's going to, and as soon as you zoom out, it's going to show you all, it's going to gather all the countries that are going around it. The Central African Republic, Congo, and Sudan, and there's some oceans around that it sees, so let's say it's world news, because it doesn't really belong to the country. And it'll show you what's going on in any of these countries. And you know, you can choose the most random places on the globe you feel like, and it'll show you what's going on in those worlds. You never, like, tell me if New York Times can do that, can it? Cannot, like, I don't think so. Yeah, sure. Like, all right, what's your favorite place, sir? Ready?
We were talking about going to Brazil. So.
Brazil, right? All right, that's good. Let's see some Brazilian news. All you do is type Brazil and right there. You can zoom out a little bit more. Maybe a little less. Alright, so we automatically get all the news we want from Brazil. See now, one of the limitations, like pretty much the biggest limitations we had was that Google is quite autocratic, you know, tries to control everything. So although it was very generous to make us use the Google API, it restricts the number of jQuery calls you can make it, restricting it only to 5 a second to start with, followed by 1 a second. So now every time we refresh the map, what we're basically doing is we're choosing 5 coordinates, the center and the center of the 4 quadrants, to get into the idea of where we're at and what you're looking at. And we use reverse geolocation, and we get the countries' names from those coordinates, and then after that, we basically get the news from that. And so that's why, and it does not restrict, and it basically does not allow you to use as many calls. That's why it gives you an error. However, if you dig a little deep and if you give some time and if you read some news, you'll get Bolivia, Argentina, and Brazil. So, and if you already read the news, it will show that. As soon as you write any article, you automatically redirect to that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a completely new way of browsing the news. Like even if you have some free time, like all you can do is just browse around any country in the world and automatically tell you what's going on. So yeah, any questions? It is online. Actually, you can go to nahang.github.io/dailyplanet. Right now, we don't really have compatibility for mobile browsers for obvious reasons, but if you go on the west, you can do stuff. Thank you. Yeah, so we actually, that's a good question. We browse through basically all the news channels out there, CNN, NBC, ABC. None of them have any APIs. NPR is, and Google deprecated the news API in 2011. So we really scrounged to find the best API we could use. And after a lot of research, we only found that there's this one news organization called NPR, and they have this API. So what we basically do is we get the country, we parse that, we parse in the sort of news we want, and we parse in the number of news articles we want, and automatically render us an array and explain. These are all NPR. Like in future, of course, we're trying to get more city news if you zoom in, and we're trying to get RSS feeds pulled up and cache it. So that's if you have a week, but if you have 40 hours. I think this is what we can do for now. Any other questions?
The technology, it's all JavaScript.
Yes, it's all JavaScript. We use Google Maps API for the maps. We use the API for the articles, and for the accordion and other beautification we have used the jQuery UI.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. Next up, we have Adventure. After them, can General Charlie go see Ryan to get set up? Thank you.
Sorry. So we're Adventure. I'm James.
I'm Dan.
John.
Alan. And this is?
I'm Eric.
Yeah. Great. I want to preface our demo with a little news about our group's progress. And that news is that, well, first of all, how many people here came here with an idea, like a thing they really wanted to do, and then maybe some part of it didn't work out, and they had to switch up in the middle? Yeah, so that happened to us too. So the whole idea behind Adventure is that we want to give you a quantitative measure of how adventurous you are. And part two, we also want to give you easy ways of being adventurous. We want to provide you with highly rated locations, like points of interest, right outside of your commonly visited locations. So we had this idea for a model, which was partitioning a graph area in such a way that each geotagged data point had a particular text label associated with it. So this graph is partitioned in also many ways to represent the density of the map, and you can imagine that each tag would have some string, like AAB would correspond to one geotag, AAC would correspond to another, and so on. These geotags, these geolabels, now geolabels, would also have time data on them. They would have some sort of measurement of how long you spent at one location associated with them. And we would run an n-gram model on these these geolabels to model your geographic location and be able to predict and detect anomalies in your geographic location data. This didn't work out. Last night at 12 a.m., we decided to move to an entirely different model based on clustering. I don't want to spend a super long time talking about the model because you all have glassy eyes looking at me right now. But the point of this whole thing is really this backend API. We built this backend API where individuals can send in their location data from sources like Google's location history, and we generate clusters of locations that you spent a lot of time at over the past 2-3 weeks. Then using this data,
and some
survey questions, which we'll get to in a second, we generate distribution of your past data points and are able to give you a numeric estimate of your adventurousness and some recommended locations.
Yeah. So I guess we can run through it. We just have a standard splash screen that convinces you that you may or may not be boring. You better find out. Oh no. You can click the next one. We'll start by asking some simple questions. Nothing hard. I might ask for some answers. The next one. So if you could be any flavor of ice cream, what would you be?
Coffee.
Vanilla. Okay. Okay.
It's all part of the model.
Do you store your socks and underwear in the same drawer? This may or may not be yes or no. Yes. Okay, we're shaping up to be really adventurous here. Okay. Upload 2 to 3 weeks of migrating locations.
Some of the questions are weighted.
And so we used we used a couple of technologies. We only have a little bit of time. We used Flask to provide a RESTful API. We try to only serve HTML once. There's a bunch of asynchronous requests that happen. We train a model for you and store it in Mongo, so next time you come back, it's super fast. This is the quantitative assessment of how adventurous you are. You scroll down. We have an API for generating recommendations that are based on getting just outside of your clusters. It's not successfully hooked up to this, and that's what we were doing until 2 seconds before this. But you can generate a giant list of it. You scroll down, I think we're just outputting. So you might want to try this. This is relatively near some places we went, just outside of them, and so you can become slightly more adventurous. That's the idea. I think that's about it.
You guys already have help group? Yeah. Yeah, so you guys have basically passively try to really cool to get that. So yeah, we built this so it can accept JSON as well. So like organizations like Yelp could passively track their customers, pass off info to us, and use us to get.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, I just wanted to ask if you assign different adventurousness scores to different businesses in the area. Like when it listed the Flower Cafe and what at the MIT Museum or something, do those affect your adventurousness score differently, or is it all how far outside your cluster?
It's mostly about location.
Yeah, it's all about the location data and like the distribution of your locations over time. The recommendations don't affect your adventurousness scores, probably because the idea of that is that those are places that you haven't visited yet. They're places that are near places that you visit on a regular basis, that are right outside of your home. So,
thanks.
Awesome. So next up we have General Choppy, and after them, the awesome color app. Can you guys see Brian set stuff up?
yes.
Hi. Hey guys, my name is Marco. This is Steven here. We represent UMass Amherst. So we created a Pebble-inspired hack that allows you to keep track of your everyday life. Basically, we want people like students who have been late to class or people who work as an employee or ever been late to work. This is the app for you. Basically, we want you to start your day the right way every single day. So the way it works, we actually built just the Pebble standalone app that allows you to break down your tasks from the moment you wake up. So say your alarm wakes you up at 6 a.m. and you give yourself about an hour until 7 to leave the house. There's a lot of tasks that happen within that 1 hour, and a lot of us don't keep track of those tasks. We kind of just wake up and hope that we get out by 7 a.m. So what we do is we kind of break those down for you. For example, you wake up at 6 a.m., your first task is to shower. So we kind of you can allocate yourself like how much time you want to allot to each individual task. And basically, as soon as the alarm starts, it starts a countdown. So you have 5 minutes to shower. Once that finishes, you can bring your Pebble smartwatch into the shower actually because these are waterproof. So it can let you know, if you start dozing off, that your timer has gone down and that you have 2 minutes left to finish your next task, which is brush your teeth. So you gotta hurry up. So basically, we help you focus on completing your morning tasks and getting outdoor, on time, not trying to be late, every single day. So we have a demo with the Pebble smartwatches. So basically, we can show the people who are up front because so basically, I started the timer. You can see that the first task is to shower, and then I give you about like 15 seconds to shower because we're going hardcore. Basically, once that timer goes off, you hit the down select button to snooze it, and then it tells you what your next task is. So what's the next task? Let's have a shower. That's not.
Take it down.
Exactly. So basically, what's really cool is you can see what your next task is and then how long you have to complete that task. So this is really the app for people who like to be on schedule, who like to have a daily routine. Routine's very healthy for you. So this is the app for you if you're looking for something like that. And really sexy picture. Always be ready for everything. Don't be lazy. Get out of bed. Get on time. Thank you.
this like ready to like deploy?
Yeah, you could download it. We haven't. It's on GitHub, but we haven't like put it in the Pebble App Store yet. So you can like customize your own tasks. But eventually, what we like to do is to pair it up with your smartphone, so you can kind of like figure out what your schedule is from your Google calendars, and then you can select from the app or from the mobile app, what tasks you want to do, the duration, everything like that. So you don't have to do it straight from the Pebble.
Very cool.
Yeah. Okay, in back.
What do you do if, like, let's say I have 5 minutes to shower and I take 10?
Yeah.
Am I off schedule for the entire day?
Yeah, so you're on schedule and you're doing stuff. Yeah. That's the whole point of the thing is like you can see what the next task is, and then you can kind of like adjust your time accordingly. So if you go over your first task, it's going to start vibrating, and then it's up to you to not like spend another 10 minutes going over the next task.
So I'd like skip the next thing.
Yeah. Or shorten it. Yeah.
My question was very similar, basically related. Like, what if I'm taking a shower or I'm doing something else, and suddenly I really have to take a dump? Is there a way to pause it? Is there a way to switch to the dump tasks and switch back to the correct tasks? Is there ADHD mode?
Right now there's not. It doesn't know like, yeah. It's a good question. That'd be pretty cool if we could do that. Any other questions? All right, awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you.
These are some dope things. These are great. Next up, we have you, Arjun.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Hi, guys.
What's that? Get Guru. You guys go see Ryan. You guys are up next.
Thanks, Steve.
Welcome, Arjun.
When we submitted our app, we didn't have a name, but now we do. It's called Amplitude. It's a combination of the words app and amplitude. Amplitude.
Okay, hi, I'm Luke. So when we went into Amplitude, we wanted to use HTML5's new devices API, or the web audio API, specifically to analyze input sound, transform it into a fast Fourier transform, and then analyze the amplitudes of that to get certain numerical values and carry out calculations.
And so originally what we wanted to do was use something similar to the knock to unlock app on the iPhone, which uses the low power Bluetooth setting to knock and then unlock your Mac. So what we started to do was use the web audio API to analyze the peaks of the audio input to determine when people were tapping on the computer. And our plan was to create a Chrome extension to use that to trigger some sort of action on the Chrome browser. Unfortunately,
so we were successful in developing that. We were able to get pattern analysis all managed. We were able to isolate the frequencies for the taps themselves, both as tapping on the body of the device and on the mic specifically, which is a lot better because it's a little more secure for like doing a password. So you go and carry out some action basically. But because of, or do you want to talk about? Sure.
Because Google's the worst and they don't let you access the device APIs in their extensions. As of 3 weeks ago, we couldn't actually complete that extension. So instead, we pivoted last night about 9 p.m. And what we do now is we do real-time audience volume analysis. And so we're setting up 3 different clients. Luke will have one. I'll have another over there. And Mark, right? Cool. Hey, thanks, Mark. Mark will have the third over there. And what this is going to do is use the volume input on each of these devices to change the background color on a website based on what color is most dominant. So if Luke's takes in the most audio input, the background color is going to be more green. If I take in the more audio input, the background color is going to be more reddish. And if Mark takes it in, it's going to be more blue. So without further ado, yep. So technology that we use, we have a super JavaScript heavy front end where we handle everything on the client side, from the audio inputs to all the calculations that take place of, regarding the amplitude. On the server side, we have a super lightweight Sinatra app that uses a Redis data store. Demo.
So now, everyone up front here, can people hear me without the mic? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Everyone up front here, you are green, okay? Everyone over there near Arjun Moore is red. Everyone over near Mark is blue. So we're gonna show some pretty colors. We're gonna let it access the. Here's the pretty colors. Let's try to make blue. All right, now let's try to make green. Everyone is green right now. Make a ton of noise. Okay. Blue. Or red. Who's red? What are you? You're red. I'm red. Make some noise. All right. Oh yeah. Go. All right. Okay. Now blue. Okay, now ready? On the count of 3, everyone battle. 1, 2, 3, go! I've seen a lot of fun party settings, for example. Let's say you set it up in like different areas of a room or a house, for example. So you have one set up in the kitchen, one set up in the living room. Suddenly, a lot of people start moving towards the kitchen. Maybe like dinner's ready, something's going on. You notice a change in the lighting, and then it becomes more red. People sort of adapt to that. There's a bunch of interesting applications for it.
I never thought AQ physics would be useful, but it was. Thank you, sponsors from the hackathon. Thank you, hackathon team, for being awesome. Thank you, Wiley and Spencer, for helping us debug shit all weekend. Yeah, thanks guys. We got a lot.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Oh well.
What? Oh, I got a question.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just curious. If you guys this goes blue one. I'm thinking is there how do you differentiate each computer should have the same sort of power and putting onto that website.
Right.
Do you just differentiate?
They do. They're all running the exact same. They're all running the exact same script, and we have the same hardware, so the mics themselves are the same power.
But if you had different computers that didn't have the same sort of audio hardware support,
But it'd be more problematic. We probably have to track that.
Okay.
Yeah. But for right now, we used 3 computers that were all using the same. It was the same mic.
Lost it. You got it.
Yeah,
Looking for it out. Awesome. Next up, we have Gift Guru, and then if the people from Baskets.io go see Ryan to set their stuff up, it'd be great.
Hi everyone, we are Gift Guru. So we are 2 Harvard juniors. I'm Lily, and my partner's name is Stella, and we're here to make Gift Guru. So what is Gift Guru? Finding a great gift for friends will make them laugh out loud, mouth open, and pupils dilated. However, oftentimes in life we find this is not the case, because we wander after malls and browsing on tons of online shopping sites, and we still was like, oh my god, what's she like? Does everyone have that moment before? Yes. So we're here to bring the solution. The way it works is, on the one hand, we integrate with Facebook, so we import their likes for movies, books, etc., and also allow an online site. We can show them here. Sorry, the bootstrap is not exactly working because the scaling is off for this
Zoom out.
monitor.
So yeah, does
But,
anyone have a favorite food?
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
Yeah, that's good.
Popcorn. Let's do a live demo here. Hopefully, yeah. Popcorn submit. All right, band. Favorite band.
Look at on the back.
Restaurant.
Dumpster.
Apples.
European city.
France.
Paris.
Paris. let's do Athens because I'm hungry. And I guess we can submit now. We don't have to submit everything. Okay, so let's see. Generate the gifts. We need to wait for a while because it's loading. Okay, here we go. So we have. So it looks much. I promise you guys, it looks much better on the local host, like on the when it's touch brown monitor because the scaling is just like way off. So we have like 3 grids. It's like Google. Imagine it's Google Now, like the cards. You can scrolling down and watch a lot of things at the same time. So these are the gifts we generate for your friends when they're picking gifts for you when your birthday is here. So we integrate with Facebook. We go to your Facebook friend, log in, and it takes a while, but then it will load in. It will load the friend's name, pictures, birthday, if they have any, and then so if my friend has a profile out there, it will give me their gift guru will generate all the gifts recommendations on the page at the same time, and then you can go through them. And if you like some of them, then Alright, so these are all Amazon API. We use Amazon API, so if you really like this thing, you just have to try it, then you click it, and it will lead you directly to Amazon and ready to buy. Sorry? Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention the technology. So the front end, we use AngularJS and Bootstrap, and the back end, we use Python and Flask with RESTful. Any other questions?
Any other questions? No? All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Good job. Awesome. All right. So next up, we have buckets.io and AJAT social gaming platform. You can go see Ryan and set their stuff up.
One second.
I think so far.
Sorry, one second.
Alright. This guy's going to switch out real quick while I figure stuff out. And we're going to have AJAT Social Gaming Platform come on up, do their stuff. Then we're going to switch it. Well, I'm doing.
Somebody on staff, go find out why a statically served HTML page is taking so long to load on a laptop. Thank you.
Alright, but actually it's slightly all over the place. You just recycle that. 2 definitely seconds, sorry for that. Alright, just launch the demo notification. You're right, you're right. Yep. Alright, so we're Asia, and what we did, we developed a social gaming platform that allows you to create your own social games. So the basic facts is that we provide a really flexible and easy to use API and the framework that allows you as a user and admin to create your own social game like humans versus zombies or assassins, or if you're actually more creative than that, which you should be, you can create your own game, much more complicated than that with different rules and stuff like that. We support all the 3 major operating systems, so it runs both on Linux, but all on Linux, Mac OS X, and Windows, as well as it runs on most of the mobile devices. We use PhoneGap, so you can use iPhones, Windows 8, sometimes if you want. And then there's of course, I don't use Windows 8 to be honest with you. And there is no server setup required. So server setup is on us. So we're going to provide you server space. We're going to set everything up. So all you need to do is just get together with your friends, get creative, and just create a game and start playing it. So next slide. Yeah, whatever. Let's do a demo. It's been Google been weird with me today, so let's do a demo. I'm going to show you how the framework looks like and how it works. It's a bit ugly at this moment, but we are at the early stages and we're going to be doing betas later, but I'll talk about it in a minute. So basically the platform written in Java, so it should run, I guess. Or not. Well, it did run on Windows. Perfect. Yeah, can I have your phone then for a second? I'll just show it up. So, yeah. Something my friend's phone. So the basic idea is that we'll show you in a second how to set up your own game. But meanwhile, I'm just going to show you how you're going to play the game on your phone. So basically, we developed a mobile app that keeps track of all the user data, events, and what games you're playing, and how you're doing in those games. Stats are enabled. Passwords. Alright, so we're good. So this is how login looks like. I'm sorry for people in the back.
Okay, just don't steal my phone, please.
I'm not going to do that. I like automax. That's nice. So basically, then we're going to switch to user profile, which is going to show you your username, your ID, and the list of current games. And then if your friend decides to create a new game, he's just going to send you an invite, and you can plug in the invite here, as you guys can see, and then you can find the game. After that, we can go to, let's say we're playing humans versus zombie, because that's what everyone's playing. You guys can say that. And so, when you click on a game, it will bring you to the screen that will keep track of the objectives and the current points that you scored as a person yourself, or as a squad or a team, or like whatever the game allows you to do. And well, then you can see the objectives here and stuff like that. And after that, when you decide what kind of objectives you want to do, we actually also provide a Google API, like modified Google API that we'll show you the objectives on the map. Right now we didn't create any objectives for this game, but you can see those objectives on the map. And so when you get to the objective, we have a geolocation API working that will basically tell the server that you are at location and that something should happen. I mean, depending on how creative you are, if humans versus zombies, then I don't know. Again, I don't think humans versus zombies, but if it's some other creative game, you know, you're gonna score points or you're gonna like communicate with other people and stuff like that. So, all right, actually, do we get it? So here's the admin panel. So let's log in. You hooked up to the Wi-Fi? Skype is on. That's always in the other office.
Our server is actually running on a laptop in the other room, so that could be also what the issue is.
Well, anyways, all right. So yeah, demo fail, baseball. Basically what we're trying to do here is that this is a framework that will allow you to get creative and get together with your friends instead of just sitting in front of your PS4 Xbox Ones. I know Battlefield 4 is cool. I play it myself, but you know, getting out and you know interact with people is always more fun, especially if you're running around the city. And now, do people know about Ingress? Like, I'm sure some of you go like, okay, this is Ingress. Basically, they're trying to sell something that didn't already done. The problem with Ingress is that they actually create their own game. And do you guys, people who actually raise their hands, are you currently playing Ingress?
Yeah. L7.
Oh yeah, there you go. The problem with that is that it's somewhat limited. I know in San Francisco it's really big. We're from Amherst, I'm from New Hampshire. Personally, it doesn't happen there. And it's a really cool game, but it still doesn't happen. And plus, if you're not into sci-fi, Ingress might be a bit weird for you. So our platform, basically, all right, it's actually working. Allows you to create your own game, and again, you can modify games, you can share games, and stuff like that. And now I'm going to talk about betas for a second. Sorry about that. We're going to start a private beta in early April, I believe. And so, if you guys want, in any of your schools, if you actually want to participate with your group of friends, just meet up with us after the event, and we can actually talk details and stuff like that. And we're going to release public beta in June. So, yeah, that's about it. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Alrighty. Baskets.io. That's not working. Awesome. We're going to try again, and then hashtag selfie. And go see Ryan. Get their stuff set up.
Alright, sorry about the delay on the startup. There we go. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so our project, I'm Dylan and this is my partner Kate, and we made baskets.io, which is a dashboard for visualizing different spheres of your life. So we created these baskets that have circles to represent events in whatever sphere that is. And the size of each circle that you're going to see is a little preview, but the size of each circle that you'll see is how significant that event is. You guys hear me back there? Okay. Okay, the size of each circle in each sphere is how significant the event is. Okay, so the resolution's a little messed up, but we can still see the example. This is what we call the life chunk, which is all of the different baskets combined. So these are all the events that we have for this example user. And you can see that the sizes are all different, the colors are all different. The sizes are significant, how significant each event is. And the colors are the effect of the event. So red would be a negative event and green is a positive event. So to go into the main aspect of the application, each one of these is a basket. So for this example user, we thought family, health, and finances were the 3 most important aspects of his life. So if you hover over any of these events, paycheck, all of these different circles are symbolic of a paycheck, and this view allows you to see for health, it's really like clear that immediately you can see there are negatives throughout the whole basket. So, sorry, I just got a little thrown off from that story. Okay, I'll give some examples of what we thought you can do with these different baskets. So for a real life application, we thought it would be a good idea to have you guys ever heard of the application Rescue Time? You put it on, for anyone that hasn't, you put it on your computer and it tells you how productive you're being with your time on the computer. So we could have a basket with different events for, you can spend time on Reddit, that might be a red one, or Facebook, yeah, how productive you're being. Maybe a parent would want to monitor their kids' academic progress and see if their teacher is giving them any negative comments, or if they're not getting good grades in a class, then the parent could easily come onto baskets and just see if there's some red dots. I need to worry about my child and go talk to the teacher a bit. Another possibility would be for a mechanic hooking up a car to a diagnostic machine. You can have red dots for each problem in the car and just easily see these are the things I might want to consider fixing in my car. So there's a lot of room for what we could visualize with these events, and it looks a little abstract at first, but once you know what these are symbolic for, so let me go a little deeper into the family basket. This big one right here is symbolic for Disney with the family. We just thought like a family guy would want to maybe keep track of all the family events he's doing, so that's what that surfaces over the basket. And then over here we have a more detailed view. You can get some specific details on what the events are, and also just know, okay, I'm doing fine in finances, I'm doing fine in family, and health. There's a few negatives in there, so I might want to watch out. And just to go back to a little bit earlier, I didn't explain that too well. The life chunk is all of the baskets combined, and it's good for, you can just see there are some red dots, so you can kind of catch negative behavior before it creeps up and becomes too big of a problem. And you can also immediately see significant events, and you might want to be like, oh, if we hook this up to an API, which is our initial intent, this would automatically be added in, and you would see, oh, this is something that I need to pay attention to because it's such a significant event. I should make sure I know what's happening, whatever basket that is. Any questions? I think it's, sorry, I know I stumbled a bit there explaining, but yeah.
Does he have like a letter key?
Yes. It's more of a neutral, in case like sometimes you spend money, but like it's for bills or for something for your family, which isn't necessarily the same as, say, wasting money going out and buying unnecessary objects like a lot of drinks. It's like something that doesn't go into any other good part of your life would be red, whereas other expenses could be more neutral.
Good time. Good time.
I just want to know, how does it determine the size of the, like, how does it determine how important the event is? Does the user enter that, or does it?
It would be more automatic because, like, for the amount of money, if it would be based on the net amount. So if it's negative 1,000, it would be the same size as a positive 1,000, just red type thing. So it would be depending on the type of basket how it would be determined, but determined like inside.
That data that you're like visualizing right now, is it like hard coded in there? Or are you generating it?
This one is being parsed from a Excel sheet because we didn't have time. Eventually we want to have every single basket have a few options for APIs. So if you want to track your sleep, you can hook it up to Sleepbot. If you want to track your finances, you hook it up to Mint. Then you just have it flowing in all the time. But like I said, we parse it from an Excel sheet just for this one.
All right. Thanks, guys. All right. We're just going to take a minute or two. We need to change our cameras real quick because one of the batteries is dying. We want to record these. So if you guys want to get up, just take a couple seconds to stretch. Yeah, great. These guys can set stuff up. We'll be back in like 1 minute. Oh, yeah. Can Snappy go see Ryan to help set up stuff?
Ooh. Hard.
Conscious yet? It's already 2:25.
Sorry, I checked in a lot of people that I knew were here, but like they didn't check in or whatever.
Hey, can the guys from Bit Coffee come up and do something with their Keurig real quick? We really appreciate it.
I'm trying to find 13 by the way. That's
Serious, our brains.
nice. 65?
65. Someone's dead almost.
Someone is dead.
Please check it through. No, that's not his dad. I refuse.
It's okay, he said it after we already found it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Brandon and I, he said 65, I said 67. We knew we were at 60.
I
didn't know what was going on.
So right now.
Yeah.
Care Bear. Live stream, not going to see the demo. Huh? Live stream is not going to see the demo because over there. Yeah, I probably couldn't see the
All right, I think we're about ready to start up again. If you want to take your seats real quick. Everybody.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Ready to see an awesome demo? Yeah. That's too bad. So the whole purpose of this is we're using face recognition software, using OpenCV's API, and we're transmitting the information. We're detecting a smile and transmitting the information wirelessly to an Arduino, which is supposedly, and it is working. It's just very dim on the LEDs because we have really small and not very powerful LEDs, but it's making a little smiley face on the matrix we have when you smile, and then making a not so smiley face when you don't. So we can try to give it a demo, but it would have to be really dark lights. I don't know.
The switches are over there.
And we also need a volunteer to smile into the webcam. Good smile. So, I don't know if anyone can see, but yeah, it's a happy face when you smile, stop smiling. No more fun. And it makes a little not so smile face.
Nice.
Cool. And yeah. Cool. And yeah, that's about it. But we wish we could have got the LEDs to be a little more bright and probably use a larger matrix. But other than that, we also really want to thank Brian for the. We got a hotspot from him, and without that, we wouldn't be able to interact with the network because the one right now is we're not able to ping other computers, so it was absolutely essential. That's what any questions? Anyone?
That's awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Next up, what did I say? Snappy Link. Snappy Link is up next. And then Crosspath, if you can go see Ryan Brown set your stuff up, it'd be great.
Hi everyone, my name is Lee, and I worked with Owen, Winston, and Tianyo. Our team created a Chrome extension that we call Snappy Link, and so the idea behind Snappy Link came from many times when I'm in my computer systems class, and halfway through the class, a quarter of the people are on Reddit, a quarter of people are snapping, and some people are just paying attention like they should, but I'm not like that, so eventually I get just bored and I go on Reddit or some other site just to find something interesting, something that will make me laugh. But the thing is, I go on each link on Reddit and I backtrack a lot of the time trying to find something I'm interested in. So the typical user experience is that you open a link and then if it's interesting or not, you go back. Other times, you're opening a million tabs, which sometimes I do, and have like 20 tabs up on the top, and it's highly inefficient. So we want to create a Chrome extension that allows you to preview whatever's on the link. So when you hover over a link, it allows you to quickly preview, provides it in a mini browser, and see the information quickly. And if you're not interested in the link, then you can just bring your cursor off the link and it exits. So it's a Chrome extension that just speeds the process, allows you to find the information that you're looking for as quickly as possible. It's great for Reddit browsing. You can search up the Imgur links. I know there's Hover Zoom that provides the image in one of those boxes, but sometimes I want to look at the comments of Imgur to see if someone made a witty comment or not. It's sometimes funny, the comment section. And this is also great for whether a research project, you want to find information on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia refers to a bunch of other Wikipedia articles. So all you do is you hover over the link, and it keeps on going inside if you want to. And if you're not, if you don't find something that's useful to you, then you just hover out and it exits. Wow. One of the great things is also for YouTube, you can also hover over to YouTube and it loads very quickly and displays a YouTube video. You can also go on the right side and hover over the related videos. It pops up in this very any type of browser. It's great for music. It's not great for. But it's a little neat thing that you can do. And we try to provide support for a bunch of different websites. Nearly all websites kind of support it. Some of them are kind of a little bit glitchy, but that's because we try to support a bunch of different websites.
And you can download it right now from the
Questions?
Questions?
Oh, yeah.
How do you make it load so fast?
No, it's not preloading. It's based. What we did was we only used JavaScript. We didn't use any like framework or anything. The loading is kind of interesting. I didn't really work on that part. I think one of them worked on the loading part.
Like, why loading so fast? Because the internet speed is fast. It's like being like from China, you know, won't work so fast. Any questions?
Awesome. All right. He's got a couple more left. Crosspath is up next, I believe, and then Split can come up to see Ryan after that. What's that?
Can you hear me okay? No? Hello? Hello? I have a little voice. So we are Team Crosspath. I'm Catherine. This is Alex and Justin. Over there.
Hey.
So we're going to give a quick overview of the problem that led us to our app, then kind of what our solution is, do a quick demo, look into the mobile app, and talk about future directions a little bit, and then give some insight into the technical aspects of it. So the problem that led us here was actually pretty personal and relevant to me. I was in this situation over the summer. I'm assuming that a number of you have been in a similar situation as well, which is I wanted to meet up with a friend of mine. They were in the city. I was in Boston. I was in Lowell, Massachusetts. And I know both pretty well. However, in between, kind of a gray area. And I was trying to figure out a good place to meet up that would allow us to not have to drive too far out of our way. So we have kind of developed a solution for that, which is Crosspath, which takes the two locations, or more locations than that, and finds something that's in between. And displays it as such. It offers some possible options on the side on the right, as well as a hover option with a link to the TripAdvisor with ratings and whatnot. So this is what it would look like if you were just coming into the website and not logged in or anything, just plugging in two locations and finding the midpoint in between them. The other option that we have is a profile, which saves your previous searches and the maps that you belong to, as you can see. With the option to add another location to be factored in and it adjusts accordingly. So there you have it. Some future directions that we were thinking about was having more user feedback, so the option to have a voting or ranking system so that the results are prioritized a little bit better than just having location factored in. And then try to eliminate the back and forth between people so that you were able to then vote inside the app on what options seem best for you. In this case, we mostly just have restaurants, but in the future we'd like to think about maybe a filtering option so that initially you have kind of the original options, and then can kind of filter from there and figure out what works better for your plans. So I guess now we're going to talk about the mobile app. Tell you everything else.
So right now we have a very similar setup on the mobile end of things. Try and show that and talk together at the same time. Not to get too close to the mic. So here we have a similar interface. We're just typing in your second address, automatically figures out your current location. So once we punch that in and go, we get a listing of the closest locations to any point between you guys. So let's go to Fatboy, and we get a detailed map view. You can figure out like eventually once we add the group support, you'll be able to send this to the people in your group. And like right now, it doesn't work because it's on simulator, but I'd be able to text this address to my friend and say like open it up in the app. And we'll plan to do things like vote on the location. So like if we're all planning to go out somewhere in the city, we can set our range to be between Cambridge and Quincy and find a place that works for all of us. That's basically it. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, let's go. Sorry, what's the
the Google Map API will check the browser API. Made out of PHP and MySQL.
Any others?
So this is a question / suggestion. So is there an option that instead of simply geometric like distance, maybe somewhere even it's far, but then both are reachable by by public transportation, that might be like even easier, right?
Yeah. So right now we're generating lists just based on a simple midpoint between locations and locations. When we originally went into it, we were hoping to have the different types of locations other than just restaurants, but we're gonna like figure out other APIs to use, other ways to integrate some locations, and give the user different options like pinching to like zoom out the radius. Maybe they want a bigger radius that they're searching in and drag like magnet towards areas. Like maybe the only place between here and Amherst is like small town that's not in it, and we want to like go down towards like Springfield or something like that. So we're gonna figure out different ways to provide users options like that.
Awesome.
Anything else?
All right. So up next we have Split, and then finally we'll have Productive Productivity. You can go see Ryan right up there.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm Rose. This is Talia. We came here yesterday at 2. We were at the Women's Engineering Conference, so we did a abbreviated hackathon. So first of all, who drives? Have you ever driven your friends anywhere? You are being used, okay? No one is respecting you in any way. So last weekend I was planning a ski trip, and my friend was like, "Yeah, I'll drive up," and I was like, "Awesome, I'll get you back for gas." I did not do that, and I don't plan to. So basically, this app is to protect for people like me. So basically, we just created an app where we have starting location, ending location, how many people you're driving, and the MPG that your car has. So we'll do a test run. In this case, Talia will be our lazy, terrible friend that is not paying me. So we'll do our hypothetical ski trip. So we're leaving from Northeastern. We go to Northeastern, obviously.
Huskies.
And we're heading to Killington in Vermont. Okay, we're taking 3 people, myself, Talia, and our hypothetical friend who is also coming. And we are doing 50 miles to the gallon because we're driving a Prius because we're awesome. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Oop, okay, so really simple. We're going 161 miles. We have the average price of gas built in. Total cost for gas is going to be $10. Cost per person is $3.51. Let's split it. So we hit the button. And then we're actually using Venmo for payment. So the first person, Talia, has a Venmo account. She's going to put in her own email. And then we have our test person who does not have a Venmo account. That is not a problem. We can still get their money. Because we're all about that life. So we send charges. Charges are sent. Awesome. So now we go check Talia's account. And $3.51 to me for gas. Awesome. And then we check the email of our friend. Oops. And there it is. And they have the opportunity to join Venmo and pay. So they're not getting off the hook in any way, shape, or form. Awesome. Okay, so now kick it over to Talia, who will explain our technology a little bit.
Hi. So this is a repo. It's pretty dank. So we actually decided to use Backbone. We wanted to kind of keep it very simple, very lightweight, just all in JavaScript. So it's pretty much entirely in JavaScript and in Backbone. And then it did require us to make 2 API calls, one to Google Maps to find out the distance between points, and then one post request to Venmo to actually make the payments. So actually, it ended up being pretty complicated because of like cross-domain issues. So we ended up making a Flask proxy server. Because, yeah, which is really awesome. Because we're awesome.
Yeah. So we had a lot of help from the mentors and everyone that was around, which was awesome. And that's it. So if you have any questions, take them. Yeah.
How did you calculate the average gas price?
For right now, we hard-coded that. We were thinking maybe like because it gets dicey between states.
Right. Yeah.
Because I mean it's different everywhere. So maybe like the starting state, that's the price we set to. I mean this is just kind of an estimate. So right now we just set it up.
Cool. Why did you choose to do it Venmo?
It's just something that, I mean, personally, I've used it before, and I think it's easy to use. It's just, and we actually, at the time, pretty simple. So. You just
right on their website.
Yeah, just right on their website.
Oh, it's really like it's really clear. There's good documentation. It's just that we were having issues with the customer. That's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. And now one final presentation hackathon. And that's you.
So hi guys, my name is Ivan and it's my friend Asa. We are from EU. So we made a Google Chrome extension which basically tracks time you spend on the web. Yes, it tracks time you spend on the web and uses some Google statistics. So like on the home page you have some like 5 biggest categories where you spend your time. It's like currently email, shopping, and social, and some others. So it shows you nice icons. So then you scroll down, you get nice graph with some good information. You click in. Okay, so it's kind of cool. You go to the statistics page. So okay, here you can get some more complicated information. So this graph basically shows like how much time you spent on the internet during some periods of day, like during the last week. So you can analyze your everything, for your activities, and like find time where you like spend a lot of time for maybe nothing. So and if you scroll down, you kind of like social networks is a big issue now. So like everybody spend a lot of time on social networks, and like this point want to spend less time. So like we created this div. So we have here like main social networks, and it shows like how many times you visit them today, and how many minutes you spent there, like, and it shows you total time at the bottom. So yeah, you can track it, like, see. So if you go to the next page, so here you can set a goal basically. Say like you don't want to be social networks like more than 2 hours per day. So choose social, and you type 2, and click add goal basically. So it now shows your goal, and after basically spend more than 2 hours per day going to social networks, it will just block this website for the rest of the day, and will show you this screen. Yeah. So basically, like we split some basic websites to categories, but when you go to some new website, say go to code school, and we don't have this website now database, it will ask you for the category of this website. So you can either type like one of big 8 categories we have already, or you can create your own. So next time we will come to this website, you will remember this category and automatically set it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions? We are thinking of adding it, so like we'll publish it to the store probably like in 1 week. We will like there are some small bags like and maybe add some like functionality like this, so you can check it out. Yeah. Some questions? Yeah, basically it kind of determines the tab which is currently opened, and like we find the event when the user changes his current tab, and so we track this tab basically. So when these tabs are not active, we don't track this down. No. Yeah.
Do you guys have it up on store?
No, we will like go to the store like in 1 week or something. We just need to do some small debugging and some more functionality. Yeah.
Did you look into pulling the website categories from Delicious or however you say it, or some other web API, so you don't have to...
Yeah, think about it. So yeah, but like some of these APIs are not really good, and some categories kind of not exactly, and so we are thinking of using some database or something.
Stumble upon might have that.
Okay, I know you can check it. So we definitely want to have a function like so user can change the categories. All right, thanks guys.
That was some cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Some really cool stuff. So what we're going to ask now is you give our wonderful sponsor judges some time to deliberate and figure out which of you guys is going home with some kick-ass prizes. I think you can kind of hang out, talk to people who pitch cool things that you're interested in, you want to know more about. Other than that, we'll be probably like 10, 15 minutes. We'll come back and we'll wrap things up. Sound good?
You say that.
Thanks. You too. You or you too. Well, I'm so thirsty. I'm gonna put some. Yeah, let's drink some water.
You started it. I started it. Oh. Okay.
You should come up with this. And then he was like, oh, it's like quarters. It's not like quarters. We're gonna play quarters.
Oh, you thought that one. Hey, you asked me questions. I think it's interesting that actually you guys crossing that. You know, you have a choice to do it again, you do it again. It's the same for the two people, but
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah, it worked. We until an hour, not even an hour, until 45 minutes.
He's thought about all of this. I'm sure he's thought about it. Yeah. Let's go inside.
Writing up the guys.
Yeah, no, it's all of this.
I think I can last until like 9. So what? Oh yeah, of course. Sure thing. But he'll say fuck you and not to actually. Now you work. Did you grab that guy? That guy. So flat shirt. A bunch of really cool ideas that I now want to. Yeah, I look, that guy. Right in front of you, right in front of you. This guy. And this like business yeah, so next week at the hardware hacking booth, we have like a little spinning disc, so you can tell the kind of coffee you want.
We've been here for like more than a while.
Control that. Try to convince me. Yeah, oh God, I want to no, I can't. Like, I keep saying, like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm gonna like this. That's not keeping like realistically, I'm probably gonna be up to like yeah. Dude, you're not sure. Are you consistent? Yeah, exactly. And you know why that is? Hang on.
Yeah, like, I don't care so much.
I can totally see. Yeah, but even if it was, you would still have to say, like, no, that's cool.
Like, no, I work in the office. You strap on your wall to be safe.
That's fine. You know resistance, that game? Yeah.
Why don't
Really like
I don't think you understand everyone.
Brilliant. The only one who hasn't played is good. Yeah.
Is there a plot?
Yeah.
They have to win. Take a picture of me, Eric, and I. Eric, I gotta do Steve Toy! Next time, now I go. It's okay. Because it's mine, so I get you. Are you?
I've been sitting here watching these tapes. They're completely out of bed.
Let's watch it. We should get it. Yeah. They should.
Settings are pretty much good. I'm shooting in awesome. So much.
No, he's here. He's selling all the GUI stuff for you, so
Oh, this is live. It's recording. It's a webcam situation.
So last sign, it's still hanging out.
Better switch that.
Yeah, that's very
Yes, yes, yes.
I think
You weren't here when they got in trouble. You were in that was like the last.
I go close, but that's not screwed up. How do you know what was
Want to like take it home and solve it? Okay. Because I won't be touching that potential fault. Well, it doesn't really matter in normal reviews, but yeah.
So while you're all just sitting around waiting for the jokes to be done, they're not so black from there. We have really cool shinies, prizes, and Alice worked really, really hard on the designs, and they look freaking awesome. So you guys should just, I mean, yeah, I can kind of show you, but you should go check out that table and just admire them and stuff. It's cool. Also, somebody lost a hat, like early on in the hackathon. So if you lost a hat, like a really fuzzy, warm hat, you want it back, right? That's the key. You want it back. Keep it.
I'll pay $15 in Bitcoin for it. Donation.
I'll pay 15 Doge. 15 Doge.
55 Doge.
55 Doge. Right here, 60. 60 Doge. 60 Doge. 60 Doge. Right here,
100 Doge.
100 Doge. 100 Doge. 340 Doge. 340 Doge. Whoa, okay, hold on.
10,000 coin year Coin.
Or Dogecoin. Dogecoin. What's your hat? Sorry, y'all. Or it could be lying.
See, can you tell us some jokes?
Rap.
I was thinking, yeah, you got rap.
Where's Pyatt? Somebody pull up the poet app. Pyatt. Pull up some poetry that I can rap.
Oh, okay. Mike, you want me to send you a Twitter account when they want to try to...
HackBeanpot.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. HackBeanpot. Let's do the HackBeanpot rap.
So really go over there.
Holy shit,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Oh, you are so fun. Oh, can I try? I have like thousands of points.
Like, yeah. But that's really hard.
We're gonna get everything ends in HackBeanpot. We're gonna go on this one. Whoa! All right.
We could actually have an information or one version have it just ready for you and like write or something. Or like it's even entirely separate file.
Oh, I don't have Beanpot. Ooh.
I gotta.
When it works, it's like HackBeanpot.
I was like,
you guys just hacked for like 40 hours. How many of you slept at all? How many of you didn't sleep? Dan Pyatt.
Are we rounding down?
Dan Pyatt did not sleep.
Now I'm gonna do 10 push-ups too.
Can I see that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And Dogecoin? Dogecoin? No. But no, okay, so seriously. You guys are awesome. I had no idea what I was getting into when I signed up with these crazy people to help in this hackathon. And this is one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my life, is throwing this with you guys. And having seeing you guys have all this fun and build all this amazing stuff. How about those demos? Somebody chose me a bagel. It smells like burning.
That smells like fire.
Like if I have to put out an actual fire, it's okay.
We have
It's just I haven't had to yet.
Yeah.
CPR certified.
We don't want to be safe here.
Worried about the curry.
What?
We're just worried about the curry. Whoever made that,
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh wow. Judge your
Rich. All right, hold on while we queue up a thing for y'all to watch and hear Ali talk about awesome stuff. Spencer, laptop. Hook it up, please.
Are you guys going to actually build your project or no? Is it going to be stopped here?
I'll probably put it maybe.
So fun. And that would be useful if you have like Android app or something.
Yeah, we probably want that.
Wake up in the morning and try something to sleep. I don't know where you are.
I'm just not totally sure how that works.
You got fun out there.
That's Java. Oh, Android is Java. It's not the syntax for this.
No, it's a library. It's built in. It's a library.
Jonathan, you want to lock your laptop so you can get this?
Or like another something slightly.
Excuse me, Wendy.
Alright, Ali has some awesome stuff planned for you, but he needs like 10 minutes or so to do his own little thing to make it super special. So I'm just going to stand here
Tell some jokes.
and not tell you jokes. Dance?
Dance. Okay.
Who's the farthest away?
Oh yeah.
Oh!
So, I know, how many of you are going to college in Boston? Awesome. I know we have some UMass Amherst people in the house. Nice. I know a couple, where else? Where else are people from?
Yeah.
You, I think that's Boston, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Are people farther away than?
Then UMass Amherst.
Marlboro, Vermont.
All right. Nice. Nice. I dig it.
Okay.
Germany. I'm from India.
Came here directly from place.
Oh, it was a long journey. 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
No, 13.
13.
Yeah.
So back last year, someone came in from Germany and didn't actually have a place to stay the night after the hackathon. So Lee was definitely calling Airbnb on behalf of this person, trying to get a couch to sleep on. Let me know if you guys need a couch to sleep on and haven't actually arranged for that.
That's something you should arrange for. It's kind of almost Monday.
It's almost Monday. It's also snowing in that area.
Yeah. Snow. Snow's a thing. What's your favorite part about doing this? How many of you this was your first hackathon? Nice. Nice. How many of you are coming back to another one? That is what we like to see. What's your favorite part? Somebody who's first hackathon. What's your favorite part?
You have a favorite part?
I like it when there's guacamole.
There's a Pebble winner. Someone here won a Pebble. You should check Twitter. Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter.
Everybody's like,
No, I have no.
Yeah. Anyone get the golden ticket?
Who's golf 1052?
Sanders! What? Sanders won a pebble! Nice! I need to go for that.
We don't have it. We're shipping it to your house.
Yeah. So go see Spencer up there. We'll get your address down. And that goes the same for anything you want to prize after you come up here and Ali hugs you because he's Ali. He's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you see Alice and Alice throws a shiny at you.
Oh yeah.
You go see Spiderman. Spencer. And he's gonna take your address down. Shut up. These things happen.
It's been a long day.
Hour 48.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So anyone further than Vermont? No?
Oh.
No? All right. You win a shiny.
You win a shiny? Farthest one. Awesome, Don. Cool. What else? What'd you like about this hackathon? It's fun. How was it fun?
The 360 whiteboard room.
Yeah. Yeah. How about this space?
Yeah, that's
Can we give it a Yeah. Quick shout out. I don't know if it's CFC, but shout out to CFC for being really, really awesome.
The room with the fireplace.
Room with the fireplace.
What about dumplings?
Shout out to Dumpling. Shout out to HubSpot and the dump truck. Shout out to Sparta Travel and Be Good with Shakes. All our caterers, all our sponsors. Aaliyah's going to go through all of this again.
Throwing vegetables at food at people.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite part.
2 a.m. veggies.
My favorite part was when Team Frosh downloaded GitHub twice.
All of GitHub. Twice. Because we have fast internet. The internet is fast.
My favorite part was when Team Frosh all yelled, "Don't merge that."
Hashtag Team Frosh.
Yeah.
You got a good programming joke?
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
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 Come on. We're all in suspense.
You can whisper it to me and I will tell it. But that is just weird. This one's okay. This one's relevant to this weekend. I had a problem. It said use regexes. Now I have 2 problems. So. I had a problem. I decided to use Java, and now I have a problem factory.
Why did the programmer break up with her boyfriend? I don't know. He wasn't her type.
How do you identify an extroverted programmer? They stare at your shoes while they're talking to you.
Everybody there is really nice to you, by the
Hold on, Oscar has a question.
Yeah, my serious question is, who did Big Coffee?
Big Coffee. Zach Ferlin and
Andrew Souza.
and friend Zach Ferlin.
Andrew Souza.
Did you guys write at least one line of code in Java?
Probably not.
You have to. Why?
Oh yeah! Shout out to BitCoffee for getting on Hacker Days. That's legit. And Reddit. That was just. This is the future, man. Make your coffee with Bitcoin. It's the future. Even though Bitcoin like totally crashed on that. It's fine. Wow.
True.
That looks like. I used to know how to use it.
You should write it.
I'll say this trouble. Spencer, you have programming jokes?
We could show them the video.
A montage.
Yeah, we'll train.
You got one? All right. Go on.
Yeah.
All right. Go.
So, why did the programmer quit his job?
Why?
He didn't get a raise.
Where does it come?
He might be making a rap. I don't know.
Building actually.
Not again.
I have an announcement, Kyle.
What's up?
No.
What's your name?
Steve.
Oh, sorry.
Fine. I thought you were like calling me a DJ.
He's a DJ.
Yeah, no, he's a DJ. Check out his SoundCloud.
Yeah. Wait, who in the room is a DJ? Just by chance.
Hartman.
Hi.
Wow, okay.
Wow. Yeah, I make music.
Hi.
So
anyways, hold on, announcement.
There's another hackathon in the area in a couple months. You know about that?
Oh.
I do now, and I think so.
So it's at UMass, actually.
Oh.
It's a embedded systems hackathon, right? But not really.
Hey, hold the mic.
No, I'll just yell.
No, come up here.
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 Embedded systems. UMass. You're just sitting line somewhere.
Cool. What is it called?
Hack UMass.
All right.
I like it. Dear leader, would you like to say something? I would. Ah, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Solid. Wow. Such hack. Such awesome. Wow. So this hackathon was like, I knew it was gonna be dope, but I didn't think it would be this dope. Just like it's crazy. You all like showed up and built such awesome things. Like I like yeah. Like the phrase I kept using the most was like, oh my god, I would totally use this. Like, can you deploy this from everything? So I'm like really happy you guys built such awesome stuff. Like, the whole point of this event is just like make something dope. You're welcome, Alice. Yeah. So I want to give like you guys already did shout outs, but I want to like do my own. Most prepared goes to Eric Chin.
Oh my gosh.
Hero Press. Who's hackathon? You still have?
Yes.
Okay,
I totally used that at like midnight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Here he is.
He gave me
Round the clock coffee was like.
when I needed
I
it
know.
most.
Are you doing? For the budget for next year, we're totally accounting for Hero Press. Like, dude, we would imagine.
Write it down.
Write it down. It's in my block. For best deeds goes to Jenny Jolly. Where is she?
Oh, she left.
She bailed? Alright, word. So Jenny got like 40 compliments, like 100 compliments on her Snuggie, just because everyone's like, dude, she's got the right idea. That Snuggie's awesome. So she wins a high five. I owe you that.
You passed the mic, we'll pass it to her.
Alright, where's Mike?
He went home
He
too.
went home too? Oh, yes. Come on. Alright. Shout out to Team Frosh. Yeah.
Many shout outs.
Many shout. Well, we deserve one more. At the beginning, we said like, you know, Brooks Law, 9 women can't make a baby in 1 month. These like 9 freshmen made an app in like 40 hours. It was awesome. It was like problems with like coordinating a large team and like dividing their team into sub teams. I was like, oh my god, are you actually freshmen? They helped back. That's like too awesome. Oh my god. Dump truck boss for best dumps. Alright, so for like the prize categories, we start off with most innovative, which was sponsored by HubSpot. This one goes to the hack that kind of like blew my mind. I was like, I want this so bad, because I was getting coffee at my favorite coffee shop, Green Tea, and their yeah, absolutely, and their 3G went down, and they used Level Up and Cash, and they have a little ATM in there. I don't like Cash. I don't carry Cash, and they wouldn't accept my Level Up. I was like, if only I had a bigger one. So, most innovative, this prize sponsored by HubSpot, goes to Big Coffee.
Just want to make a quick mention. All the sponsors were trying to figure out the different prizes and the prize winners. There were so many great projects and hacks from this weekend that collectively we've actually all decided to give out 2 prizes to 2 different teams for each of our 3 sponsored categories. So there's going to be a second one as well. But these guys did an awesome job. The prize is a DOS mechanical keyboard and an ear of streaming music, Spotify or RDO, whatever you guys want, for each of you guys. So, congratulations.
It was unforgettable.
It was the Adventurer.
It was Adventurer for being. Yeah, great job, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Next one is best use of APIs. This one's sponsored by Smart Travel, and it goes to it's like they were like the 100th time I said like I really want to use this. Can you please deploy it? Can you please deploy it? It goes to Untitled Mixtapes. That was, yes. So Jay, please deploy that. I want to use it all the time. All the time. Every day. Word. And
Whoa, go that way.
Like a real prize.
Yeah.
As John mentioned, all the sponsors decided to double the prizes. So the tie for best use of APIs was split.
Oh, please.
Ow.
No. For those missing context, in the middle of the night, we all, oh yeah, 5 a.m. We were all standing around, and we all placed bets on whether he, Arjun, or Rose would win in a fight. And we all bet Rose, except for this guy.
Rose is a band.
Rose is.
No one can disagree with that. Sorry, Arjun.
2.5 questions, yo.
Alright. Cool. Yeah, we're getting shiny. So our next category is most fun. It's one of my favorite categories. So this one goes to, they brought like a lot of awesome energy in the room. It's one of the best demos I've ever seen, like a hackathon or like in person or casted. It goes to Altitude.
Stare at Wendy.
Trying to move away from the SpongeBob.
Wait,
step away from the SpongeBob.
It's a little bit more to the left. Yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
category.
Wait,
Oh, for most fun.
getting Catan.
What's up?
Getting Catan.
Oh, right.
Getting Catan and like
one of the most
Lots
fun
of
games, like play with your friends and then lose all of them, so lose Catan. Our next category is best application to simplify the business of life by Intuit. Brian, do you want to share that one?
Yeah. You know, I really wanted to say how much fun this was this weekend. I didn't expect to have such a great time and be impressed by so many incredible ideas. And, you know, I'm really happy with the work that you all did. So we doubled our prizes, and the first one that we chose was Snappy Lake. So they're going to be getting a Raspberry Pi starter kit and some Amazon gift cards. Thank you. Good job. And the second one was, you can stay up. Second one is, right, Gift Guru. I am that.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much. Great job. All right. Our next category is best design. So this team did an amazing job. They were totally. All right, that's much better. That's much more beautiful. That's probably like a really great hack tip. These guys. This team was like totally on point with their design. Like from the first point when I saw that first tweet, we got it done! I was like, oh my god! I like ran over. I wanted to see like, why are you so excited about dot? I saw it and I was like, dude, that's actually a like really awesome dot. To the point they like paid a lot of attention to their design. I believe design is really important. We all believe design is really important. So yeah, that's design. Goes to Microdrop. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Sure.
Also, you guys are getting crayons?
Awesome.
Cool. Our second to last prize category, best pump by itself. So this demo blew us all away. We all we either use productivity software or some of us don't, but we want to. And we all agreed like this is something we want in our browsers. Best pump by itself goes to Productify.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Nope. It's not on.
You turned it off. You're good.
Okay.
Cool. Great job, guys. Our last category is like my favorite category. It's kind of like I see as the heart and soul of this hackathon because we're all here just like build awesome stuff. It's like to make money. Yeah, this hack is probably not going to make much money. Probably barely going to cover its server costs, especially when it goes absurdly viral in front pages HN, just like Big Coffee. This one goes out to Dan Pyatt's Codification.
Come on down. Press right. Nothing.
There we go.
What is this, Elite?
What is that? Oh, this right here. That is a public wallet key.
Oh, nice.
So your prize
I'm
is
gonna put a chain through this.
oh my god.
Pay with Doge.
Yeah. Their prize is like $200 in Dogecoin. Yeah. No, I'm giving you guys like $200. That wallet has like $200.
No, we have to take the prize back now because we just made money.
You just disqualified yourself.
Oh no! Wait, hold on to this.
How many Dogecoin is that?
That's like
many Dogecoin.
300 and something thousand Dogecoin. Sir, that's like, must I have your friends? Yeah, Dogecoin? Yeah. No, it's a Dogecoin.
You said Dogecoin or your tokenizing.
Solid.
Nice.
Yeah. Last prize. There's only have prize actually. It's just a category. You guys like all you all came down here, signed up for a 40-hour hackathon. You need there to like be food, you need there to be like sleep deprivation, but the fact you all like came out here with the intent to create something, to exercise your muscles, build something awesome. Like you all deserve a round of applause just for like hacksmanship. Absolutely. I want to give like another shout out to our amazing sponsors, TripAdvisor, Intuit, HubSpot, PayPal, Wayfair, Smart Travel Media. You all are amazing. The fact that like 3 of our sponsors decided to like double their prices, that was like, oh my god. They just like couldn't decide on like enough awesomeness that they had to like just spell down. So can we give our sponsors like a round of applause? Lastly, I want to give like a shout out to the HackBeanpot team. You guys like this hackathon would not be a thing without my team. Ain't nobody do like my click. Alice took care of like all the branding for this hackathon. It was like her baby, like the logos, the shirts, the purple, everything. It's like all her. The website. Josh did so much amazing writing. Steven, Lerner, Rich, everybody was like super on point. Steven was kind of like the RA in this hackathon. It was, like, awesome.
Steve Toy! Dear leader!
Yes. I please get like a round of applause for my awesome. Bianca, Rich, Spencer. There's too many to name. Oh my god, I overhired, but it was awesome. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. With that, thank you all for coming. This has been an amazing weekend. If you want a prize, please like get over there. We need your contact details so we can like send you things.
Make sure you talk to me before you leave.
If you want stuff.
Otherwise, the prize will stay in HackBeanpot HQ, which is my living room.
Otherwise, she keeps it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. It's an amazing weekend. Ciao.
Yeah, guys, make sure that when you're cleaning up your areas, you throw your